Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Ed Lawson joins us. He's the mayor of Sparks. He's here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
MAGA extremist Sam Brown has repeatedly supported efforts to ban abortion without any exceptions for rape or incest. Before moving to Nevada, Brown ran for office in Texas, where he supported the ban that had the toughest restrictions in the country, and he strongly supported overturning Roe v. Wade.
On issues of life, that is a non-negotiable for me.
Sam Brown's extreme far-right agenda is wrong for Nevada. Wynn Senate is responsible for the content.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
They want us to believe we only have 2 options. That's just not working anymore. I've never been a follower. I'm a businessman and entrepreneur. I'm ready to forge a new path to secure our future. One that keeps Northern Nevada free, fair, and wild. A path that means freedom for all, including affordable housing.
I'm Greg Kidd, and I approve this message because I'm not from either political party. I'm for Nevada.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are always pleased to welcome back to the program Ed Lawson. He is the mayor of Sparks, Nevada. Pleasure to have you back, sir.
Thank you for having me.
So, during a visit last year or so here on Nevada Newsmakers, you mentioned a possible expansion of Interstate 80 through Sparks and its impact on the Nugget Casino Resort. Can you talk about that at this point?
I don't really have much more information other than I know they're still working through the process. So that's about all I know on that subject at this time.
The new ownership of the Nugget, and this has been in published reports, has been struggling a little bit. Do you think they're back on track now?
Yeah, I think it's just a different market. It's different from what they're used to. You know, they've been in, I think it's in Colorado, where we're in Colorado, and then they're an international company. So I think just a different market for them, and I think we're a little more family oriented. They may not be used to that part of it. I don't know, but it seems like they're doing a good job. I mean, they put a lot of money into the place, and it looks fantastic on the inside.
Yeah, and the outside too. And it's amazing what a coat of paint will do, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the things that they have that Anthony Marnell put in was the venue, which is 9,500 seats.
Yep.
That's got to be a great draw both for the Nugget and for the other businesses around there.
It is. We happened to just be at the Jason Aldean concert not too long ago, my wife and I, and yeah, it was packed. I mean, they seem to sell out every time. So that's good for us in Sparks. It's good for the community. It's good for the businesses all around there.
And it's good for people in the rest of the Reno area to come to Sparks. I mean, this was a dream come true for the Esquagas. You know, they would have loved to have seen all the development that ended up happening in Victorian Square and all these thousands of people there. So I'm sure from above, John is going, well, I wish it had been during my time, but I'm glad for you.
No, I think John would like what's going on for sure. But you know, it's good to see people down there, and then they're like, we didn't realize that you guys downtown was built up like this, and you live 5 miles away.
Right.
So I don't get it, but
we are kind of parochial, aren't we?
A little bit, a little bit.
Well, you know, I was born and raised in London, and North London and South London never do the two meet. So when the Legends Bay Casino opened back in 2022, it became the first new casino built in North Nevada in the past 20 years. Are you hearing any more news about potential new casinos operating?
No, I wouldn't encourage any new casinos. The pie is just so big. So you add another casino in there, you're still splitting up the same pie. So I'd rather see the ones that are here existing to succeed and you know, get their gains on it. But I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. At the end of the day, it was over $100 million, I think, to build the Legends Bay Casino. It's just, I don't know that pays.
I don't know if you got a chance to read Howard Stutz's article in the Nevada Independent about the gaming industry in northern or in the Sparks area, and it was very positive, from Western Village to you know, the Legends Bay Casino. And now you have Ferranzoni back in the market at Rail City.
I didn't know. Oh yeah, I guess I did know that he was back. Yes.
Yes.
He was on vacation forever.
Yes, several years, but bought the property back. So
good.
Local ownership there. Well, this is great. I'm able to give you some
sparks.
Sparks.
He bought it back. Yeah.
I'm happy to be. That's why we call it Nevada Newsmakers. Yeah. The Sparks City Manager's Office proposed a bill draft to send to the legislature for a 13-mile toll road to be built between Spanish Springs and the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. Current Nevada law says that no fee can be charged on a person for the use of any roadway for any project undertaken by a public-private partnership. The session starts in 5 months or less. Do you have any lobbyists working on this?
Absolutely.
And what's the feeling?
You know, here's where we are. Let's just run the numbers real quick. The NDOT gets $1.3 billion basically a year as their budget. $300 million of that goes to Highway Patrol and DMV. That leaves you $1 billion to split up with the state. 70% of it goes to Vegas. So that leaves us $300 million for the rest of the state. We're just looking for loopholes, man. We're looking for ways to get things done. The infrastructure needs to be taken care of to transport people out to Story County. 80% of those folks that live out there live with us in Reno and Sparks, and that is the only way to get out there at this time is I-80. And once the widening of I-80 happens out in the canyon, it's going to be a nightmare. So it's become a quality of life issue for their employees, and they're actually looking to participate with us in the cost of doing the road alignment and some of the other expenses up front because of the impact it's having on their business.
Okay, so what kind of cost would you anticipate for a driver to be able to take this toll road?
You know, I don't even know, because we're just guessing at the road price. I mean, we think the road is going to be somewhere around $500 million, which is probably in line with what it was when they built the one at USA Parkway, because it was like $250 million back in 2010. So double that seems right. Don't know, but until we get some bids and alignment and stuff, we don't know what the number is. So it would be foolish to guess. The other things we've thought about, and you know, as you know, I've been pushing the lands bill for 6 years now, forever, is taking some of the land that would transfer in the lands bill and use it as rental for solar farms. Using billboards revenue, we would take, you know, a portion of the revenue from billboards, and you know, just looking at many facets of ways to finance this road.
Well, I mean, that's great thinking, because you know, the need obviously is there. I mean, it's crazy. You know, it's interesting. One of the solutions also becomes one of the problems, which you just raised, which is, you know, the potential widening of I-80. Now, is that any further along than we've previously discussed?
I think they're looking at 30% design coming up. I don't know exactly when, but it shouldn't be too long, 6 months or so.
Okay, but the good news is they're going to widen it. The bad news apparently is they're going to widen it.
Exactly.
Would one, you know, years ago, you know, there used to be dummy police cars put on roadways, and people would slow down because they saw a cop car, didn't realize that there wasn't an actual cop in the car. Is that something we should be doing on I-80?
We actually we just need more enforcement out there, period. I don't know if you've ever been out there in the morning or evening trying to get by. If you're not doing an 85, you're getting run over. And it's pretty spooky to drive on I-80 in that commuter traffic. So yes, we need more enforcement to help in that aspect of it. People, they're in a hurry, and I get why they're in a hurry, because they're always late. You know, you never know what the traffic's going to be. And it took a replacement of a guardrail, and we had traffic backed up for 5 miles, and because it went down to 1 lane. You know, so those kind of things, just if you're commuting out there, and the policy, from what I understand, I'm not a part of it, but if you take the bus out there and you're late, it's okay. But if you take your personal car out there and you're late, you don't get paid. So it's encourage them to use the buses, which is a good idea. But there's sometimes when you need your personal car. And it would be, you know, we're cutting the commute basically in half by putting the road in. Even if we don't get a toll road, I mean, that's a road that needs to get built. It's where the population lives in North Reno and North Sparks. And it just makes sense to do that.
When you heard about the TRACT project, which is you know, this giant data storage farm that they're putting the land out there for, they actually will then sell or lease the land to the data companies. But looking at the number of construction workers, does that give you pause? I mean, the actual number of workers over time is not going to be that great, but in the construction phase.
Well, I don't know the exact number of services and construction and all the other people that go out there just to work on it, not necessarily for a tech company, but work on it. You know, it's thousands of people every day. Currently, there's about 30,000 employees in Story County, in a county with 4,200 people in the whole county. So it's a big deal. They want to double the size of the Gigafactory. That's going to take a lot of construction people too. I think Story County, we have to embrace what they're doing, because we are getting the benefit of it. It's changing our economy, but we have to pay attention to the infrastructure. And I'm amazed at how many people are like, you guys don't keep up the roads. Well, here's an idea. We can keep up a road, we can pay for it. Oh, we don't want a toll road. We don't want that. Like, one lady emailed me and said, I don't want to have to pay a toll to take my kids to school. I'm not sure where she takes her kids to school at, but you know, unless you drive on the road, you don't pay for it. And there's an alternate route, so you can always go around.
You know, I think that if you look back in time to where we were going to lower the railroad tracks in downtown Reno and how much it was going to cost, and there was a tremendous pushback against that. Now, can you find anybody that complains that they don't get stuck by the trains in downtown Reno?
No.
When the movie theaters opened on the river, there were a ton of people at the grand opening who said to me, well, this is just terrible. How dare they put a movie theater on the river? And I said, but you're here. And they said, well, yeah, we got a free ticket, but we wouldn't come back and pay. You know, people's minds change over time.
They do.
There's no save the Mapes.
And it's not easy being the front runner either, so you get the slings and arrows. But I'm willing to take that, and I'm willing to be the one out there in front and pushing it. I think what we've come to is some logical decisions on how to use the road. I mean, the road needs to happen, period, at some point. You know, if you have an accident on I-80, it doesn't matter which side of the road it's on. It blocks both sides of it up.
I've been there, done that.
Exactly. So you need that alternative valve. We also need to investigate the use of the UP tracks. We also need to look at the southern road that's being proposed through Highlands Ranch.
Okay, explain.
There's another road proposed right now that actually NDOT has funded the research on it. I think it was $2.5 million to do an alignment for the southern route. So coming from South Reno over to Story County. The problem is it's a very expensive road because there's 21 bridges in it. So the guesses that I'm hearing is this a $1.2 billion to $1.5 billion road. For the amount of traffic, does it make sense? I don't know. But we know that we're going to have the traffic on the northern road. And it makes sense to do the northern road first, the widening of I-80, the tracks, and I mean, if you can get UP to agree, UP's not, they're the big dog in the house. They don't answer to senators or congressmen. They're their own people.
Yes, they are.
And if they say they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it.
Okay, and what would their involvement be?
is you would have put a commuter train on their tracks.
Oh, so this is this is not a road. Is it a road?
This is no the northern road.
Yeah.
Which is what we're proposing from La Posada to USA.
Right.
There's 4 routes. So we would take the northern road, looking at the tracks to put commuter trains on to commute people out to Story County via the UP Railroad, and then the southern road. It'd be the one that comes up through the Highlands over into.
Okay, so
there's 4 proposed ways to get to Story County.
So what's UP saying about the proposed commuter trains? Because isn't part of the problem is that their freight has priority?
Absolutely, it's how they make their dollars.
Right. So
I'm not involved on that team, but I have a review that actually is going to be next week on where we are and what's going on.
And how do you feel $1 billion road from South Reno into TRI when the budget for the state is just over $1 billion?
Yeah, it's $1 billion. I mean, yeah, I don't know that it doesn't pencil out for the amount of traffic you're going to get on it at this time. Now, in the future, yes. Does the northern road make the most sense to do first? I think yes, because you have 80% of the people live in the North Valley, so in the North Spark. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And then the widening of I-80 next, so you can take some of that traffic off to lessen the burden to do the widening. And then the tracks, obviously, if that can happen, that could happen. I mean, they could put commuter trains on there tomorrow if the UP will agree to it.
A lot to think about. Let's take a break. We'll come back more with the Mayor of Sparks, Shad Lawson, right after this timeout.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you. But we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday, trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ed Lawson. He is the mayor of Sparks. In one of our previous interviews, you were talking about the sewer treatment plant. Nearly 70 years old. You wanted to get some funding from the federal government's push to rebuild the nation's infrastructure system. How did that go? Because that's a big project.
Yeah, we're getting dribbles of money, and when I say dribbles, $3 to $5 million. You know, but when you have a complete plant replacement is $1 billion. $3 to $5 million is not a lot of money.
Okay, so it is a bit because other people have said
a complete plant transplant.
Right, because other people have said to me maybe $500 million, and these are still huge numbers. But if $1 billion is the reality, does it help, you know, of that pipeline that's taking the effluent? Has that, you know, out
They're
of
not taking near as much effluent as they thought they were going to.
Because
the pond that they built out there is working. It's filling up, and they're not using near as much as we thought they were. The good news is we did a complete rebuild of one of our digester systems. I mean, we still don't know why, but we got this genius of a guy who runs the sewer plant. We're performing at levels that the manufacturer said we cannot perform at. So he's cleaned the water that much. It's amazing.
I've tried to reach out to him. I've not gotten any callbacks.
He is the man.
I know, and that's what everybody's telling me. I'd love to have him on the show because it's a huge deal, and obviously a huge amount of money that eventually is going to have to happen. We're only delaying it at this point in time.
Well, we're trying to get better at what we do to help in that aspect. We're going to have to build another plant at some point. If the lands bill goes through, we have plans to build a plant out there to pick up that extra sewage that we're going to create, obviously. And you know, but everything kind of contingent on everything else. And if we don't do anything, median household prices now are $675,000. Median household income only qualifies for a $300,000 home. People are still coming here from California, and an $800,000 home is not that much money for them. So I can see, if nothing happens in the next 5 years, we'll see average median house price $800,000 plus.
Wow. Let's take another break. More with Ed Lawson after this timeout.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times are tamarack.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ed Lawson. I should have you on more often because it's always fun to have you on. He's the mayor of Sparks, Nevada. In February, to deal with the homeless problem, the Sparks City Council passed an ordinance to make living in vehicles or parking RVs on public property and obstructing sidewalks and rights-of-ways misdemeanor crimes. It seems to me that after that Supreme Court decision, that a lot of local governments are now able to start really dealing with this situation. What's been the results of this? Because I know that your city attorney has done a good job in this.
And yes, thanks to Wes. What he did was listen to our police officers. We needed some more teeth in our ordinances to compel people to get services. And this is our approach. Is not, we don't go in and just, you're in a car and here's your ticket and get out of here. We go in and offer services first. So that's what our whole approach is. And that may take 30 to 40, 50 days before somebody will have enough trust in our officers to say, yes, I'll take services, or I'm going to move on. So it's just given the teeth for them to be able to enforce it.
And what are the results you're seeing so far?
Well, you look around, our side of the river is pretty nice. We just don't have homeless. But I think also the other side that I'm most proud of is in the 3 years that we've been doing this HOPE team, the Homeless Outreach Proactive Engagement Team, We've helped over 500 people get into services or get home or get, to some place where they can get help. The other thing, everyone thinks that the CARES campus is the only place to go. There's over 700 beds that are open today that have some type of barrier to get into. So if you can get yourself to whatever that barrier is, then there's help out there.
Okay, what do you mean barrier?
You got to be sober, for example.
Oh.
You can't be using drugs. You can't have a pet. The CARES campus obviously is a no barrier. You can walk in there stoned and high and your dog with you and they'll take you.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of discussion about, people and their pets. And, there's been a lot of work done on this. Stacy Alonso with Noah's Animal House has been trying to be proactive and put these places for the pets next door to where the shelters are. So I think that's a really good thing because people, if they have nothing else, they have their pets and there's an attachment there. Okay, we've got about 30 seconds here, but I did want to bring up that RTC of Washoe County just announced the completion of the Otter Wells project. We had the project manager from RTC on the program about 1.5 years ago to talk about this. It just sounds like a huge opportunity for redevelopment.
It is, and we're seeing it. That's what's cool about it is if you build it, they will come. We're starting to see people inquiring about a lot of those abandoned buildings down there and what it takes to permit them and what kind of uses. And so it's working well. And it's beautified that whole area too.
Well, and that was what I wanted to talk to at the time about with the RTC is that, these regional transportation commissions have this ability to transform a dilapidated area into something that developers want to come into. We never have enough time. Come back soon. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor of Sparks, Ed Lawson. We'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Carson Valley Inn, it's your place for the good times. Carson Valley Inn.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news, in between, and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day on various platforms, including television, radio, our website, audio and video podcasts, YouTube. You want to find the show, you can find it pretty darn easily. And we cover politics, business, health, and education. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next broadcast.